it. So let's get to it then. Let's learn the Humours of Glendart.
Okay, so going into bar one then. So we're going to start with these two notes open G on the fourth string, and up to A, back to G, to E, second string, back to G. All right. So do you want to just do that? Just show me how to do it all the way through. Well, just that first bit.
And then we've got the rapid notes after that, haven't we?
Yeah. Now, you could say that that's a triplet, but in fact it's a jig. So the jig is already in triple time. So the way I've notated it is not as a triplet, but it sounds like a triplet. So I think the best way to do this, if you're playing this tune for the first time, is to ignore the triplet and just play like this. Because we've got those two notes C there. Okay, once you've got a feel for the triplet melody, because it's going dee deedle dee deedle dee deedle dee dum like that. Okay, once you can do that, then you can add in an extra note there, okay, to make it to give it that triplet feel. Yeah.
So actually, so how are you playing that? So when I'm getting to, and then you're saying actually miss the sort of middle note, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, and just play the two C notes just to get a feel for the tune.
Okay, and that keeps the same timing throughout, so that makes it a lot easier in terms of timing.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear that? Okay, so it's triple notes all the way along.
Yep, that makes it quite a lot easier actually. But then you've got to find a way to get that note in there, I suppose.
Okay, right, now how do you do it then? Can you show me how you do
Yeah. So I think my timing might be slightly off on this actually, given what you've just said. But what I normally do is I'm going to play it a little bit slower than what I normally would. So
play it really slowly.
Okay. My tab's just gone off my phone. Sorry, one second. Right, okay. So I use a little index and second finger, and I use alternate picking between those to hit those notes.
All right. Okay.
And the pace, if I was to do this at the full speed, I guess it would be. Sorry. So I'm probably not quite as quick as.
Yeah, you're running out of time.
Yeah.
You're running out of time there. Okay, so you're adding an extra beats to fit it in. Okay. Now in the tab, it is written. I did write which fingers to use. Did you see that?
Yep.
It's written P. Was it P-I?
You've got PMP.
Oh, PMP. That's the way I do it. Yeah. Some people
so that
do
would be.
Index.
Is that PMP?
Down. P is thumb.
P is thumb, and M is middle, right?
It's middle.
So you are.
That's right.
Okay, that's quite weird to me. Having again,
right,
that's something where I've taught myself maybe the wrong way or a different way.
Well, there's something you need to practice. If you can do it your way, that's fine. Okay. Now the way that I do it is it really comes from country music, and in country music they call it chicken picking. If you watch country music guitarists, especially those who play Telecaster, some of them will hold a plectrum, and they'll pluck down with the plectrum and up with a finger like that. That's called chicken picking. Now I do it with thumb and middle. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to kill the note before it because I'm plucking on the same string. So I'm going to go down with the thumb, up with the middle, and then down again. But my thumb is going to stay in place. So can you hear that? So it becomes very staccato. In In fact, the up note you don't really hear it at all.
That's actually, you're right. When you were playing it, so when you played the demo,
Yeah,
I I can hear it's there, but you don't hear it a lot, and
you don't hear it a lot.
that's yeah,
Okay. Now the reason the reason that I think that's appropriate is because Irish music is Celtic music in general. It's quite simple, in fact. There's not a lot going on, especially in this tune. Um, But when you listen to fiddle players and flutists or people who play tin whistle or bagpipers or what have you, they've got a bag full of tricks that they can use to ornament the tune to make it sound more interesting. So for example, instead of playing one note, you turn it into a triplet. But on a fiddle, then they use bowing techniques. So they might be bouncing the bow off just to get little scraping noises, little other little sounds in to do it. On the tin whistle, on the flute, there's going to be lots of what they call a turn. So you play the note above, the note below, and then the note again. So instead of playing just a G, they would play G, A, G again, F again, and G, like that, to ornament the tune. And so the tune sounds very, very sophisticated. Now, on fretted instruments, we have a lot fewer options to ornament a tune, a lot fewer. So, anybody who's interested in Irish music, I'd say, well, go away and listen to the Dubliners, listen to Barney McKenna playing tenor banjo. And what he does with his plectrum is lots and lots of triplets. So putting in the triplets makes the tune sound a lot more interesting. But you don't have to hear all the notes. What you want to do is you just want to hear there's something going on, and that just makes it so instead of just doing, so I say learn the tune first. And then try the triplets. But you see how it falls in the time?
yeah. I
Now, try
can,
to
and
play that quick, it's hard. Yeah?
it still sounds, it sounds like a variation between 2 and 3 notes, so you can sort of hear it's. I don't know. You don't quite fully get it. Yeah.
But it's like the chugging you get in heavy metal. Where it's kind of like really, really damped.
Yeah.
So you can hear the feel. Yeah.
I definitely need to work on that to get the speed up. Okay, so into the second bar then. We're still largely on open strings.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where our
Yeah.
D note makes its first appearance. So for the first 6 bars, the only note you're going to fret is a D note on the C string here, 2nd fret.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to go and down into the note D. So it's going to be open E, into the D, back to the E, back to the open C, and the open E again. All right, yeah, so that's really cool. There's only one fretted note you write in the first. That's the note D, and then it repeats into bar 3 and into bar 4. Then just to finish on the note D 3 times. So let's just play that through all the way. Into bar 3 the same again, and bar 4 with the note D on the 2nd fret.
Cool. Yep.
And then the next 4 bars are exactly the same. So bar 5 is the same as bar 1. Bar 6 is the same as bar 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and then bar 7 and 8 is the ending of that part, which then we're going to play down C, B, A, G. Okay, and now I'm going to play it the campanella way, which is C on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and B on the 4th fret of the 4th fret of the 4th string.
Yep.
And you can either play the note A fretted here. Okay, or you can take your 1st finger off the 1st string and play the note open. Okay, so. All right, So you've got two options there. The choice is yours. So you're playing it fretted to the note
So
A.
yeah, the tabs way I'm playing the A note fretted. So for this bar, for bar 7,
Yeah,
you're obviously your fretting hand hasn't done a lot throughout. In fact, you've only fretted one note so far. So
yeah,
this is the first time it's really got any work to do,
that's right.
and you need to get quite quickly up to this to these 3 notes fretted. So that's third, fourth, and fifth, and you need to be off them again quite quickly. So because you've only got 3 notes where they're fretted at all. So
Yeah.
this is, I guess, when I was learning it, this is the first part where I had to specifically focus on this change with my left hand. So this was the first
Mm,
time I had to worry about really what my left hand was doing, and still
mm.
actually, because I've not played this song in a couple of months, I'm probably slightly off the pace with getting this. So yeah, this is. I think this might be the trickiest part actually for me when I was learning it, just getting this shape on quickly enough.
Really? Okay. Well, yeah, the way that I approach learning, arranging for campanella is thinking about the shapes that I use on the fretboard. So there is an exercise on my YouTube where I just play A, B, C. Learning shapes will help you to play in campanella. So, for example, where you've got A, B, C, you can play, you can play A, B, C there. So that's a good shape to know.
Yeah.
Right? It's like learning chords, but I'm just learning little runs. So A, B, C, okay, or you can play, A, B, C here. So that's another good shape to learn as well, which is like 7th fret and 5th fret on the 2nd and 4th strings. Okay, or you could even play A open and B on the 4th fret of the 4th string and C on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Okay, and those are all good shapes to learn when you're arranging. So you know that every time you see A, B, C, so I've got a variety of different places to learn them. So these, especially these easy tunes here that are in C or in F, you've always got these runs are very common on it. So I tend to learn them like chord shapes, although they're not chord shapes. They're like scale runs, and that's how I start arranging these pieces. When I see like typical runs in an Irish piece, I say, yeah, I can do that. That's the best way to do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But by all means, where you've got this shape here, then, which is what we've just seen in bar 7,
Yeah.
by all means, just play the note open. That don't bother with the note F, the note A here on the 5th fret. Just go
Yeah, that makes it a little bit
C,
easier actually.
B, A. So all hands off again. So only 2 notes fretted. C, B, all hands off again,
Yep.
and then down to the D and the E.
I think that does make it a little bit easier, and I think one of the reasons it does make it easier is actually, and I would imagine most people are like this. Your index and your second finger are usually way easier to be accurate with and land in the right position, and probably your third and fourth fingers are maybe not quite as good. And obviously, we're dropping out that third finger there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and there's another way of playing it, which is what I just mentioned as well. If you want to hear more strings ringing at the same time, is that you could play C here and B here. So C on the 8th fret of the 2nd string and B on the 4th string of the 4th fret. And then you've only got to keep that campanella voicing, you've got all the notes ringing at the same time. And I'm taking my finger off here to play the note G. Let's say there's no one right way to play campanella. Whatever you see on my tab, look for variations. Is there a different way of playing it? Is there an easier way of playing it? Did I not do a good job? Is there a better way of playing it where you got even more strings ringing at the same time? I don't claim to have the definitive answer for all of those things.
Yeah, and
And
you'll often see
sometimes,
me trying to find a shortcut around something that I can't quite play that John's tapped.
well, yeah, simplify it, but I wouldn't say that mine are always the best or the most difficult either. Sometimes I revisit my own tabs and think, oh yeah, I could have done that a bit better. I could have made that sound a little bit more, fluid to play.
Okay, that puts us pretty much into the second section then of this song.
Yeah, so we've got so what we can say then is we're going to learn we approach this like learning another chord shape. So this time we're going to play this shape here, and you can finger it however you want. Doesn't make much difference. Where I've got E on the 7th fret of the first string, D on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and C on the 8th fret. Okay, so we've got that kind of shape there that we're going to hold.
Yeah.
And we're going to start off again with the note. Oops.
So actually, I've noticed straight away, John again plays this a little bit differently to me. So I actually go for a barred shape,
Which is what I indicated in the tab, and that's how I used to play it. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So I bar at fret 7 with my index finger, and I drop my second finger onto the 8th fret of the E string. Which again, what lesson was it where we talked about this before? The only difficulty I think you will have from barring is actually getting your fingers off without making an awful lot of noise.
Yeah, that's right. That does tend to happen when you pull up from the bar.
I made an absolute racket then. Yeah, so you have to be. I guess it's the two challenges. You either go for John's method where we're not barring it, where you're probably less likely to make noise when you take your fingers off for the for bar 10, or mine where you bar it. I think it's a little bit easier to learn initially, but you are going to have to sort of learn to deal with that noise. I think you've almost got to be. It's a really weird one, like that. So I've come across this where taking my fingers off strings makes a lot of noise before, and I suppose I've worked on it a little bit. And one of the things I find is you've got to be very smooth with removing your fingers. You can't have any pulling whatsoever. It has to be a straight lift, which is a lot harder to do than it seems.
Yeah, because it will sound just when the note will sound when you move off.
Yeah.
You can't really avoid that.
Also, like if John mentioned this in a different lesson as well, actually. If your fingers are a little bit sticky for any reason, mine are today. Actually, I can feel them sticking to the strings. That is causing me a problem. Certainly on this G string.
Yeah, that's right. So don't make sure you wash your hands if you've been eating KFC.
Just for the record, at 12:30 on a Sunday, I've not been eating KFC. I'm having it after.
Some people would. You're English, nothing would surprise me.
You're English too, John.
That's true. Not anymore. Anyway, so yeah, I've decided to finger it like that and not with the bar. Okay, so I mean I could modify the tab if you want.
The tab, I don't think, does it indicate? Oh, it does. Yeah, so it's just barred at 7.
Because that's how I did it originally.
Yeah.
But I just think it might be easier because I can keep this finger on here and just move off the fingers. So I'm going to start with the last note of bar 8 then. So it's going to be G, and then into bar 9. It is bar 9, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bar 9. That's right.
Okay. So I'm going to go C, D, E, back to C. Lift my finger off to play the note A. And then G open again, so I'm lifting those two fingers off, and then everything off because I've got to play the note E. So like this, and then back on again.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. And the ending is the same, all right?
So bar 11 is the same as bar 9, so you're just playing the exact same as bar 9, and then bar 12 just changes a little bit. And this is, I suppose, where my barred fingering is a little bit easier, actually, I think, because I've only got to drop my third finger on the 9th fret here of the C string.
Yeah, so in bar 12 then I've got this bar shape, And like you say, you can just drop your third finger on to play the note on the ninth fret of the third string. But the ninth fret of the third string is A. So if you didn't play the bar and you fingered it, so this is another alternative way of doing it. You could just remove your second finger and play the note A open.
Play the open string. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to try that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Would that be easier? Simpler?
Do you know what? If okay, so yeah, I can answer this. If you're playing your fingered method, I think it definitely is easier than dropping your pinky finger onto the ninth fret.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing my barred method, probably not, because you're going to have to come off the entire bar to only drop it straight back on again for the following note. Yeah. So yeah, depending on which way you're going, I think if you're going John's way of not barring for this, then I would recommend taking that second finger off and picking up the open A note.
But the choice is yours. The choice is yours.
Yeah.
Like, you know. So that's bar 12. Okay, and bar 13 then. Again, you can bar it.
Cool. So you've either got John's barred method, my barred method, and then we actually are taking that second finger off, aren't we, to pick up that A note?
That's right. Because we're going to go back to the same ending as in the first section. All right, so then in bar 14 we only have open notes. And then bar 15 is the same ending as in the first section. So 15 is the same as bar 7, and 16 is the same as bar 8.
Yep.
Okay. So right from the beginning then, so we have right from the beginning of the second section.
Second section, yeah.
So bar 11, bar 12. That's barring it, and then bar 13 into bar 14, all open, and bar 15 and 16 the same as 7 and 8. Oops. Okay, and that's the good thing about Irish tunes, is that very often the last two bars they just repeat, so you don't have anything new to learn. Not always. Sometimes you get thrown by those, but this one is quite a simple tune, in fact.